Good, Blake. How are you?
Good, thank you. First, I guess, is there a kind of injury roundup of sorts after the little bit of time off and where guys are at?
I don't have one right now, Blake. I think they're checking on some guys here right now, and we'll put it out here shortly.
Okay. The other question, I know you're not wearing the sweater today, but the first anniversary of your foundation and the collaboration with Dr. J and the Ryerson student Arturo, I guess just how do you feel about your foundation a year in here, and how cool is it to get to work with Dr. J on something like that?
It's great. Dr. J's on the board, which is unbelievable, I think. Really cool. I had that ABA soaring through the air dunk shot out of Sports Illustrated pinned on my wall as a kid. So it's, again, head scratching, chin scratching moment for me. But again, the foundation's been hard like everybody else. It started on the night before the pandemic, and here we are all these months later. But we've managed to kind of, like everyone else, figure out a way to get through it and still bring in money, to still involve local kids, either producing, selling, creating, or helping, right? Involving them in all facets of it. So it's been truly a joy for me. It really has, and it's really fun.
Great, glad to hear it. Look forward to bugging you about injuries tomorrow.
I can't wait. Thank you.
Next question goes to Stephen Lung from Sportsnet.
Hey, Coach. I just wanted to know, like this can apply to kind of like all the relatively new faces. But we'll speak to Gary later today. But like, where do you think he where do you think he is now? Like kind of getting up to speed with where you kind of want him to be, and this can be applied to basically everyone. Basically,
I think he's halfway. Still learning sets, still learning next actions in our offense, still learning schemes in our defense. But I like him. He's working hard. He's a pro, plays hard, can really score.
Do you feel like with the end of the season kind of approaching so rapidly that like you'll be able to get to where you want him to be, or is this kind of like a multi-year process?
Kind of strange. It doesn't really feel like the end of season to me. I think since the trade, we've upped our practice time considerably, practice availability, shoot around, not like they used to be, but still on the court, spending some time and things like that, more on the road, figuring out walkthroughs, just a lot more film, just a lot more teaching and time together. Probably for this time of year, a lot more, but it's because we're trying to get all these guys integrated quickly, and we're trying to improve. And I might as well say it today, we're trying to play the right way. That was the first time I've said it today outside of practice. Anyway, go ahead.
No, that's great. Thanks a lot, Nick.
Thank you.
Next question goes to Doug Smith from the Toronto Star.
Good afternoon, Nick. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, Doug. How are you?
Good. Just to follow up on what you just said, what has changed that's allowed you to have so much more time?
Well, I think that the protocols have loosened a little, Doug. The vaccine, the testing, all that stuff, I think is still, fairly rigid, but there's been a few little more openings where we can get together a little easier. It was hard sometimes it's hard to plan a morning shoot around or whatever because of all the time it took to get everybody cleared through the protocols. And I mean, we're still not doing those, but we can get them a reasonable time in the morning to test and get them there at a reasonable time before the game and things like that. And we've focused a lot more on that stuff as maybe even at the I don't know, we're just going a lot harder maybe day of a game or day before a game than you normally might do.
You kind of hinted at this before, but does this group like to work?
Yeah.
In the gym and on the floor?
For the most part, Doug, I would say, yeah. I mean, I think that if you would have been at any of our, let's say, last dozen get-togethers, you'd probably be impressed with how professional and hardworking and energetic and, dare I say, fun those sessions have been.
Yeah. Well, it couldn't have been fun the first 3 months of the year. Now maybe it is.
Sure is.
Great. Thank you, Nick. Appreciate it.
You're welcome, Doug.
Next question goes to William Liu from Yahoo Sports Canada.
Hey, Coach. I wanted to ask you about Pascal. It seems like this is probably the first time in 5 seasons where his three-point shooting has sort of taken a step backwards. He's sort of been steadily on the incline. What do you think has sort of gone into that? Because it feels like shooting is not one of those skills that regresses. It feels like it's guys get better and then they stay good.
You got the numbers for me?
I do have the numbers. There are some very
Let's hear
interesting
'em.
quirks.
Let's hear them.
Well, there's two things. One, I mean, if you look at where the threes are coming from, on the left side of the floor, he's like 26% on the left wing, 21% up top. But then on the right side, he's 37%, and the right corner, he's 43%. That seems a little strange. What do you think would go into sort of that divide?
There's probably just a level of comfort. I don't think that there's any reason why the shots would be less contested. I don't know how far you're digging. Like, are you getting level of contest on these shots? So that probably makes a difference. Are they off the bounce? Are they on the catch? There's so many variables that can go into that if you're really going to dig into it. That's why I asked you for the numbers, because I'm not going to just say something without really digging into it.
Well, I mean, on the point of the pull-up shooting and things like that.
Yep.
I think last season it was a real progress for him. He got up to 36, 37% on probably
Off the dribble, you mean?
Off the dribble, yeah. And
Yep.
Now it's 20% this season. So it's a bit of a change. I just wanted to ask you if you've noticed anything about his shot, I guess.
No, I haven't. I think there's, whenever the shooting percentages drop, you have to look at, are we as a team getting the same shots? Is he getting the same looks? Again, level of contest. Is he taking too many off the dribble? Off the dribble is always a lot lower than off the catch. I don't know what else could it be. Confidence, could be conditioning, could be game plans. It could be
Right.
lots of things. I don't have one. I would imagine that it's probably just a blip that'll, a year from now, you'll be saying to me, I remember asking that question, and now he's shooting 40% this year, something like that.
I mean, definitely for a good story. I mean, and just to follow up, like, is the plan still the same? Like, obviously there was so much investment into him developing as a shooter in previous seasons. Is the plan going forward still going to be to get him, comfortable with the 3-point shot, pull up off the pick and roll, all this, type of shots that you would normally see like number one options in the modern NBA take?
100%. Got to get it better. I think that we'll do a deep dive on it and see, there may be some ones to trim out that could help make us more efficient, him more efficient. Maybe it's going right off the dribble, off a screen, shooting the unders, whatever they are. But I would say no. I would say that we want him, anytime he's open from three, to fire.
All right. Thank you, Coach.
You're welcome.
All right, Coach, we're going to do 2 more questions. First one goes to Kiko from the Kyoto News.
Hi, Coach. Hi.
Good. Hi, Kiko.
Hi. When did you start thinking about converting Utah's two-way contract to a standard contract?
That question's probably not really for me, Kiko. That's the front office group, but I can say that they've talked about it for a long time. I know it's been in the works, and I mean, talk about the possibility of doing it, that he was a candidate to do it. So that's all I probably have for you on that, but good to see, right? Good for him. He deserved it. He earned it.
Yeah, and why did you convert his contract now? Because even with a two-way contract, he still be able to play with team, to the end of the season.
Because we thought he deserved it. Just a good, we had the roster spot to do it with. He's been a good pro and a good player, and he's working hard. And I think again, I don't want to misspeak here, but I would say that he's certainly under consideration to be part of this team going forward. And if he can keep getting better, there's a spot there for him to earn and continue to get minutes and all those kind of things. And that's what we're about, developing players, giving them opportunity. And when they make the most of it, we try to keep growing with them and keep teaching them and how to become even better players and better teammates for the Raptors.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Final question for you, Coach, goes to Takashi Shibata in Japan.
Hello, Coach. Good
Hey.
afternoon.
Takeshi, how are you?
Yes, very nice. Thank you so much for your time. So I would like to ask you about also about Utah's contract. So what was the decisive factor to upgrade his contract for you?
Well, again, this isn't like it's my decision, right? It's a front office decision. And but what I could say is that he's played well as you've watched every game. He's continues to improve. We kind of brought him for a reason of what he brought as a versatile defender with length, energy player, offensive cutter. He's got some versatility. We were intrigued by him to bring him in the first place, and he's done, just one little dip down, I think, when he had the injury and a little extended after that, and then everything else has been positive. So I think, he's done well. He's done very well, and played hard, worked hard, good pro, good person. A lot of characteristics we like on our organization.
Just one more question about it's about yourself. I would like to know because with this contract upgrade, I think you are forever linked to Japanese Basketball Society.
All right, man. I'm coming over. I'm planning on coming over this summer.
Yeah.
The coffee's on you, Takeshi. You're buying.
I you guys should be considered as a Hall of Famer, What do you think about this?
I don't, but I do talk with Yuta quite often about what it's like for him in Japan, and we obviously, when Hideki won the Masters, we talked about how his life was going to change, or how could it be he'd be even more famous over there after winning the Masters. We've had a few conversations, not unlike, we talk to some of our guys, after we won the championship, a lot of guys on our team, coaches, players, things were different, just in general in the public and things like that. And so anyway, I don't really have anything else to say other than that you and I have talked about what it's like for him and that over in Japan. And you know him enough, I'm sure. He's really pleasant to talk to. He's a really, really nice person and all that stuff. So I'm really happy for him. I'm always happy when a player gets rewarded and that seems to me that their market value or whatever, their contract value continues to rise, because he, especially a guy that's worked so very, very hard.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, thanks a lot. See you, everybody.